Well, good evening, Facebook friends. How are we tonight? So this evening, as you can see, I've developed this online event specifically to speak about the menopause. And the reason I want to do this is because there's a lot of information that isn't readily available out there. And I think during COVID, that ladies have not been able to see the doctors. Ladies are resistant about going to see the doctors about this anyway. But recently, without being able to see the doctors, and now still being unsure, is this an emergency? Is this something I should be going into the doctors for or not? I think during the last 5 months, I know of hundreds of ladies who have actually questioned, am I going nuts or am I starting the menopause? So tonight I'm going to be covering subjects such as weight gain, why you can't do the weight loss. I'm going to be covering anxiety. I'm going to be covering night sweats. I'm going to be covering how we can get over these things, how we can help ourselves, what are the options that are available to us. And so first of all, I've got to thank you for being here. And please, if you could, have the courage to share this onto your page, because I want this to be a movement, as you know, for the last well over, coming up for 18 months now, that I have been realising how little information was readily available to me when I started wondering if I was going through the menopause. I've been about trying to raise the awareness and doing it in a way that everybody can relate to. It's one thing having a black and white leaflet telling you this, that and the other. It's another thing hearing about real ladies' experiences and how they are actually coping with it or not, as the case may be. So please share this. If you haven't already, please like my page. That would be very much appreciated. And let me know that you are watching so that I can give you a shout out. Now, if you have the courage, girls, whether you're watching this on now live with me, or if you're watching it on catch up or replay, please would you have the courage to share with me either your age or the age and where you come from, or just where you're watching from, because I love to find out where my new followers have come from. And there has been lots of you recently, which is absolutely wonderful. And I thank you for sharing my online space. And so please, share with me what age you are and where you are from. Either or, I don't mind. You can be shy. I don't mind. Pam, good evening. Kathleen, good evening. Welcome to you. So let me dive in right now. Now, also be aware, please stay with me till the end, or if you're watching this on replay, you might want to go to the end if you're short of time, because I'm sharing something tonight which I've never shared before. It's an experience for you that I've never shared before. So please bear with me and I will get to that at the end. So I am Kate Sansum. Who am I to be speaking to you this evening about menopause? Because I'm not medically trained in the menopause. My qualifitions are in business and they are in fitness and wellness and nutrition and life coaching. So far from the menopause, you would think. However, the one thing I do know is how to relate to ladies and how to help ladies go from a place of pain and misunderstanding to a better place. Now, I recognise the symptoms in myself because I'd been through 10 rounds of IVF. For those of you that don't know, the infertility treatment of IVF, I had to go through the full-blown cycles of it, which meant that my hormones were taken control of by injecting myself. Well, initially Lee had to do it, to be fair, because I was scared of the needles. So injecting myself, first of all, once and then twice a day, and my estrogen levels would plummet down to what they called baseline, which is when you've gone through the menopause, you still have about 20% more estrogen in your body than they took me down to. Literally baseline, and then they fluffed me up with loads of estrogen so that I would be ready for my babies and I would produce lots of eggs, and that's what we did. I recognise the symptoms because I would go through the menopause in approximately 15 days. And so for those of you that I know have got clinical menopause, i.e. you've had a full hysterectomy, your ovaries are no longer there, that's exactly what you go through as well. So I really, really can empathise with you. And I knew when I went through this in the 10 times, well, I got to about round 3 and realised for me to mentally and physically cope with those symptoms and be still habitable, and for my husband to be willing to go there again, that I had to find ways of dealing with the symptoms, all of the symptoms, because I got them really badly during that time. And so that's what I was able to lean on when I started to actually become perimenopausal and realised there is something up. So that's my story. That's why I am here. But you lovely ladies have sent me in some questions that I can answer this evening. So I don't see anybody yet telling me their age or where they're from. Come on, girls, this is interactive. You know it's always interactive with me. Hello, Elaine. Hi, Doreen. Nowhere to hide now. I've outed you. So let me know where you're watching from. Please, please, please. It helps people share and feel that they are in a place of safety, which, of course, on my page you are. So question number 1. Are you ready for this? Not very often you see me with these on, but needs must. It's been a long day since 5 o'clock this morning, and so here we go. So this lady said that I am 46 and can relate to 8 of the symptoms on your list, but I've been told that I'm too young to be going through the menopause. Okay, firstly, the list that this lady is referring to is the list that I devised with help and from health professionals. I devised a list of the main symptoms that you're likely to go through. And the purpose of this list was so that you could track how frequently you went through these. And then you could take that list with you to the doctors when you have your first consultation with them, because you've only got 10 minutes. And they've only got 10 minutes to ask you a lot of questions. And if you don't get it right, there is a high likelihood that your anxiety, your emotional, your despair could be put down to depression rather than the menopause. And that doctors do the best that they possibly can. I am never doctor bashing. I love the doctors in this area, the doctors that have looked after me over the last 31 years that I've lived in Elgin are amazing. I would never do that. But it's down to us, especially during these times, to make the most of their time. So if you fill in this list for the month, generally it takes like 2 months before you get an appointment for the menopause. So use that time wisely. Go above and you will see the link. Go there, download that PDF. Put it into your phone right now and then print it off at some point when you can and make reference to that. So this lady had 8 of those symptoms. Then she's 46. Now, be aware that our mothers, so there I am, I'm about to be 52 in a month's time. And so my mother and my mother's mother, they would generally go through the menopause in their early 60s. My great-grandmother probably would have been, early 60s. My mother probably would have been late 50s, but due to lifestyle change and general, and when I say lifestyle change, the fact we're having children later, the fact that we are the breadwinners as well, the fact that when our older generations were going through the menopause, they were at the stage of life where they were just there to look after the grandchildren. Other family members were supposed to look after them. If you think back to caveman, the way things were meant to be and why evolution made us this way. And so, they had a lot less going on in their lives, which would cause them stress and anxiety. I'm not saying it was an easier life in any way, shape or form, but they also ate differently, had different stress levels, different sleeping patterns, didn't have mobile phones, didn't have any of that interfering with them. And so, that's what age they went through it. Now, the average age is approximately 50 to 51. That's what they're saying for 2019, 2020. But it's coming down each year because of these factors. So your daughters, if you have teenage daughters, they are likely to go through this in their mid-40s. their daughters are likely to go through this in their early 40s. So never has it been a more important time, ladies, to get yourself equipped with the facts. And also, if you've got the facts, then you can share them with your daughters, with your mother, and maybe they might be a little bit more sympathetic. They might be a bit more empathetic. You never know. Some of the older generations, my mum was just like, gosh, you just have to deal with it. Sweat a lot, get a fan, and deal with it. I think that was about as much empathy as I got. But thankfully, we live in a different time. And so we know, we can understand, and we don't have to go through this. And you don't have to go through this alone. So definitely that lady is not too young to be going through this. Definitely not. The age group, as I say, the average is 50 to 51 right now, but it varies from person to person. The youngest I've spoken to from a lady going through this naturally was 39. And the eldest was a lady just perimenopausal. So to let you know, perimenopausal means your hormones have started to go a bit nuts. They've realised that they need to be changing and that your estrogen levels need to start dropping, but they don't do it straight away like that. Oh, no. They go up a bit, down a bit, up a bit, down a bit. And your whole body's reaction to this goes up and down with it. That is what causes the initial craziness, because it messes with your brain, it messes with your emotions, and you can't physically deal with this, ladies. It is a physical thing that you are going through. This is not PMT. We had to learn to deal with to a certain extent. But this one is like PMT times 10 if you get the symptoms. 80% of us do get symptoms. Don't let me scare you. Getting those enough to put you out of your usual way of life only happens to 20%. But it does happen, ladies. It does happen. So seek help. Nip it in the bud as soon as you possibly can is my greatest advice to you. So the perimenopausal, you've just started going haywire, but you're still getting periods, but they are spasmodic. And you're never quite sure exactly when they're coming, going. The emotions are up and down on a daily basis. You sweat some days, you ache all over some days, but then it's gone again the fellow. And that's what makes you think, what is going on with me? Can anybody relate to this? Give me a thumbs up, give me some hearts. If you look in the bottom right-hand corner, you can give me thumbs up and hearts, or just a yes, just a yes. Can anybody out there relate to this? Please let me know. So I suspect you may well be. And so, yeah, and that covers the average age. So it's not until you are not officially in the menopause until you have gone for 12 months without a period. However, it's the bit in the lead up to that, which in my experience of speaking to thousands of ladies about this, is the bit that can send you slightly nuts and make you feel like just the extra anxiety and everything else is just working out where you are. Once you work out where you are, then you can work out how to deal with it. So my next question was about weight gain. So this lovely lady shared with me, I am 52 and a runner. I've always worked out and been in control of my body shape. But, using Weight Watchers was always able to maintain my body shape. However, Weight Watchers no longer works for me. I'm doing the same thing, but it isn't having the same effect. I'm putting on weight round my middle, my belly. I'm carrying weight round my belly for the first time in my life, but the scales say that I am not putting on weight. I can see I am. Please help. I'm depressed and confused. I'm a professional lady and meltdowns are not my thing until now. That makes my heart melt on so many levels. It really does. And I hope the lady that wrote this is listening tonight, because this is something that happens to so many ladies. I'm actually going to deal with the last bit of this first. if this relates to you, are you a professional lady? Are you usually happy-go-lucky? Do the other family members rely on you to be the one who organises things? You're the party organiser. You're the one who organises the holidays, who has the get-togethers, who does the sleepovers with the kids, or who organises the family events. Are you that person? Are you usually in a professional capacity, totally got it together? And now suddenly you find yourself doubting and self-loathing and not understanding what the flip is going on with your body. Your head is no longer, you're not having nice thoughts, you're not speaking to yourself very nicely. If you can relate to that, please give me a yes or give me a thumbs up or hearts, and let me know if that is you. Because this, when you're used to keeping it together, I think these are the people that suffer really badly with the menopause, because it's something you can't necessarily keep together and you're not used to reaching out for help. And this is a time where you really do need to reach for help, and you need to speak to your girlfriends. And if you're used to being the person that everybody speaks to, it's a different vocabulary that you're going to learn, and it's and try it. Reach out and say, can we speak? I need to speak to somebody about this. And if you've been there for other people, they will love to be your friend back. They really will. Give them the gift of being able to help you, even if it's just somebody to text rant at, saying you've had a crap day, you've burst into tears 3 times, you hate your boss, and you just want to run away and hide. Have that conversation. Have somebody that you can speak to that about. Text me, message me. I don't mind. I can be that buffer if there's nobody that you can immediately relate to and you think I could be that person. No judgment whatsoever will ever come from me. And so the weight control bit. Come on, girls, let's dig down into this, shall we? Why, if somebody is running and they've always run and they're doing Weight Watchers and they've always done Weight Watchers, why suddenly when you become perimenopausal does it no longer work? Well, this is to do with 2 things. One is from over the age of 40, 45 in particular, your muscle mass starts to deplete. Your muscles will start to become less. Now, the muscles weigh more than fat. Muscles burn the calories up. You cannot maintain your muscles unless you are doing resistance training. You will have, up until this point in your life, known that if you go to spinning, if you go do jogging, if you go do cardio inside out till you are sweating like a loony, you are going to burn the fat, because you would have done in the past. But right now, that isn't what you need to be doing, because when you do that, if your blood sugar levels aren't balanced, which I'll do a complete video about balancing your blood sugar levels, but in a nutshell, eating little and often, proteins, fats, and carbohydrates are all your friend right now. You need them all for the different functions that your body and the different changes that your body is going through. So you need all of those balanced blood sugars, because otherwise, if you go out for a run, and like it might have served you in the past to go out for a run or do cardio when you're hungry, because you think you're going to burn more calories. Am I right or am I right? No. And especially not right now, because your body will take the energy because it needs the energy, and it won't stop you blinking, breathing just because it's got no immediate energy reserves. What it will do is it will eat your muscle. It will not burn the fat, especially the fat around the middle, because your fat around your middle, those big pushy cells of fat, are actually a source of estrogen. And so therefore, that is why your body starts storing them there. It's a form of estrogen that your body can use quite readily when the rest of your body starts slowing down and stopping the estrogen. Well, it doesn't stop it. It slows down the release of the estrogen, which is what starts the process of It heightens the process of the aging, but it also stops you being able to burn the calories. So when I went to see my doctor, what she said to me, I said, yeah, so what's this about weight gain? And she didn't know anything of what I did. She didn't know I was a health and fitness professional for 30 years. And so she said, but I wanted to know what her take was on it. So her method, what she said was, your metabolism has slowed right down now, and basically you need to eat one meal less than you did in the past. I'm very glad I took what she was saying, but didn't take that particular advice. Because if you make yourself hangry, and make yourself hungry, and you are anxious already, you are going to be hangry, you're going to be the worst person in the world to be around, and also you're still not going to melt that body fat. To melt that body fat, you used to have to do small amounts of exercise, frequently, 5 times a week, and when you need resistance. Now, when I say resistance, I don't mean you cut in Scotland, you still can't go to the gym. I don't mean going to the gym and pressing big squats and doing lots of weights. I mean maybe taking hand weights out with you when you go for your walk. I mean doing squats with just your own body weight, that is resistance. I mean using bands. Some of you have joined my belly blaster, the 7 days. In 7 days, you've got those exercises that are go-tos that are going to help you. But you do need to do resistance training with a little bit of weight to keep that muscle. Just to stop it from going away, girls. Otherwise, you know that shape where you've got little stick arms and legs and a barrel body. And these are the ladies that used to look magnificent in the lycra at the front of the aerobics class. Can you relate or can you relate? Well, that's how you're going to keep that at bay. So little and often. That, as you know, and I'm not, this is not about pushing this is not about selling you this in any way, shape or form. But you know, in Kate's Club, I do 20 minutes every day with the ladies, and we use bands or we use hand weights. And that is the reason why. And then eating little and often very frequently. So let me make sure I answered every bit of her question there. So that is why running is no longer serving her. And that is why she is getting body fat round the centre. The Weight Watchers, if you've ever cut out carbs, cut out proteins, done just protein, done this diet, that diet, fad diets in the past, now is not the time to do it. Your body is the least forgiving it has ever been, girls. So if you used to get away with sugar in this and having your chocolate bars, you only had to mention the word diet and you lost a couple of pounds, those kind of things aren't going to hurt and aren't going to serve you anymore. And cutting out a particular food group is definitely not going to serve you right now. You need all of these. You need your calcium to keep away the osteoporosis. You need to be also taking vitamin D with that, by the way, girls. Your body, if you're taking calcium in your diet, and which you could, and for your bones, to strengthen your bones, to stop osteoporosis, especially if it's in your family history, your body can only change that into bones as such, for to keep this simple, if you have got vitamin D in your body. 80% of us are vitamin D deficient. So you need to take that as a supplement. If you are perimenopausal right now, get yourself to Holland and Barrett. Vitamin D, you can get vitamin D and calcium supplements, but you need to be doing it now, because once you are post-menopausal, your body can no longer change the density of your body through diet. You need to keep doing the regular low impact. And that's the other thing, is low impact. When I was saying about resistance training, and you've got to keep it low impact if you can, for maximum weight loss. You don't need to be leaping around like a loony at this moment in time, sweating more than you are already. That's not needed. So there we go. Let me make sure I covered everything there. Yes, I think I did. Right. Next question. Are you ready for this? Glasses are going to have to go back on again. Okay. This poor lady. I can't take HRT, which is hormone replacement therapy. For those of you that aren't familiar with it, you can get it in gel form, you can get it in tablet form. I take it in tablet form. Tiny, tiny little amount is all that I need. I did up my dose, but my boobs went massive. I felt like I was a teenager again. I went all bloated. It was hideous. So I reduced down to the Femiston 1/10, whatever that means. Like I say, I'm not a medical professional, but I know when they put me on to 2/10, it was too much estrogen. My body didn't like it. So for those of you that are on HRT, your body changes, don't forget. If you've been on it for a year or whatever, you might need to change it. If the symptoms have come back, you've got rid of them, now they've come back, adjust it. Your whole body is adjusting on a daily basis right now. But this lady can't take HRT of any sort. And I've spent hundreds of pounds on gadgets, supplements, and all sorts of things, especially trying to stop night sweats. What really works? Right, what really works, girls? Well, for this one, I've got to draw upon what you have told me has worked for you. I was lucky. When I started on the HRT, for the majority of the time, my night sweats are gone. Apart from if I drink alcohol. If I drink alcohol, I know I'm going to sweat that night. That's just the way it is. Alcohol can bring out all of my menopausal symptoms, poof, like that. I actually recently did a 28-day challenge, which I'll tell you more about on a different video. And anyway, I cut out the alcohol because it was getting a bit too much in COVID, but I'll do another video on that, remind me. And and so I know I'm going to get the night sweats. But which supplements work? The ones that, if you look above again, I've shared a link for you of all of the different supplements and products and things that I speak about tonight, because I put them together in one place for you. It's an Amazon list, and you look for the menopausal products, and it's from the teas to the fans, neck fans. Oh, amazing. I forgot to wear it. I was going to wear it tonight for you. I have a flashing neck fan that comes round the back of my neck, 2 little fans here. A lady at Tesco's was wearing one when I went round through the checkouts the other day. I was like, yeah, I want it. I had to give her a virtual high five or an elbow or whatever to say, I've got one of those. They work really well, don't they? Anyway, supplements, Menopause. Menopace. Vitabiotics and Vitabolic. Anyway, it's up in the link because I never say it right. This is a herbal supplement that you take daily. It is horse tranquilizer size tablet. I pre-warn you of that now if you're not good with tablets. However, it's the one that I've heard most ladies have the best effect with. It takes the edge off a lot of symptoms that I have heard of. So definitely that is one that I would recommend. And then for night sweats, as I say, the fan, because I can take the fan off, I can put it by the side of my bed, just aim it at my head on the bedside cabinet, one at my head, one at my body. And and I don't have to interfere with him. He's his side, I'm my side, and it just works amazingly well. Cotton, making sure you're not in polyester sheets of any sort, and making sure if you've got one of these, what do you call them? The covers that you put over the top of your mattress, one of those, what do you call them? Somebody help me out. What do you call those things that you put on top of your mattress? Filler? No. And I did take my Menopause today. Anyway, them. Quite often they are synthetic. And they are made of a lot of synthetics. So be careful, they can help you sweat. Even if you're on cotton sheets, if you've got one of those underneath you and it's got lots of fibrous things that aren't cotton within it. A topper, yes, that's it. It's a topper. You ladies aren't speaking to me very much tonight, unless you are, and I'm not seeing the comments coming up for some reason. Usually you're there helping me out all the way. But hearts will help me anyway. So cotton, make sure it's a cotton all the way down to your mattress. Lavender essential oil. Oh, love it, love it, love it. This is a really good one. Be careful that you don't do what I've done and put the lavender oil splash, splash, splash on your pillow, you put your face on your pillow, you wake up the following day and you've got bright red mark for the rest of the day. It looks as though you've got that slap cheek thing that the kids get when they're at school. Because I'd slept directly on the lavender oil and it left a big red mark on my head. So don't do that. Either mix it with accompanying one of those oils, what do you call it, that you put it in and then rub it on you, or dab it somewhere where your face is not going to come into contact with it. But lavender oil, love it, love it. Make sure your pillow is not synthetic. And Ava Innis, I didn't put a link above, sorry Joan, who I did a live with last month. So her company is called Ava, A-V-A, Innis, I-N-N-E-S, and she does the most amazing duvets made out of cashmere, but not the cashmere you make your jumpers out of. The 70% of the other bit that comes off the goat, poor goats, 70% of it usually goes in the bin or goes into something, but she puts it into duvets, which are great for menopausal ladies. So check her out, Ava Innis. So make sure you've got your pillows sorted. And synthetic ones, not so good for you. You can get ones which have got a cooling agent in them. They're really good. You need darkness. There is something that you release, and you really need this for rest. At nighttime, your body is doing into rest and restoration. So during the day, it's all about nutrition, concentration. It's using your energy for burning up the calories, doing your digestive system, all of that. But at nighttime, it is about needing the energy for restoring your body. And the only way it can do that is if it's got melatonin. You need the release of melatonin at night to get a good night's sleep, ladies. You cannot get melatonin if you are in a light room, or if you have lights on, or technology before bed. All of those sorts of things for half an hour before you go to bed will stop the release of the melatonin. You're never going to get straight off to sleep. Can't physically happen if you've had a bright light in your face for half an hour before you're trying to go to sleep. So melatonin, blackout blinds are suddenly your godsend. Blackout blinds, you need to be in the dark, girls. You must. And I've already said about the alcohol. You might think that alcohol is a good release for a good night's sleep and for the night sweats, but in fact it has the opposite effect. It makes you have a crap night's sleep, and it fills you with self-loathing the following day. So if in doubt, try and ditch it. I know it's difficult. I really do. I do know. I went through that. So, are you ready? I've only got two more questions, girls. If you've got any, you'll be able to ask them, and stay with me till the end because I've got that offer for you. I'm dead excited about this. Really good. So, dizziness is the next topic. I'm 50 and enjoy walking, but have fallen a few times recently for no reason. And I'm getting dizzy spells and headaches. What is going on? Right. During the menopause, when your estrogen levels are dropping, if you think of every part of your body, the skin element of every part of your body starts to thin. So this is your lips. This is your facial skin. This is your eyelids. This is your scalp, which is why you get the hair loss. This is the pores, which are affected, which is why the sweats are happening, because you can no longer regulate. Your body thinks that you are hot because of the changes and the thinning of the skin, and so therefore it releases sweat to try and cool you down. That is why that is happening. So also it can affect your inner ear, which can cause dizziness. It can cause the feeling of, just that giddy, not quite dizzy, but nauseous. It can make you feel nauseous as well. I've heard ladies talk about that for the inner ear specifically. It affects your tongue. You need more sugar now to taste the sugar. How ironic is that? Yet your body's never been less forgiving of taking in the sugar. There's so many things that aren't right with this. And he is having a laugh, I reckon. And anyway, what else does it affect? It affects your ligaments, your tendons. It affects your joints. You're likely to have swelling in the joints. You're likely to think you're coming down with arthritis, when in fact it might not be at all. It is the menopause causing extra inflammation in your joints. That can be any joints. People get sensations in their jaws. They get sensations in their ankles. They think that they are getting more muscle injuries and strains. In fact, it can just be the inflammation that is being caused at this time. So that's so going back to her dizziness and headaches. Headaches are a big one. They really are. And that is because of the activity going on in your brain and where it is going on. And so the triggers in your brain, it's as though if you think of your brain cells as firing over to each other, they're misfiring every now and then. So your brain is having to work twice as hard to get the same message from one side of it to the other. That's why you sometimes trip over your words. That's why you sometimes forget things, because it really is genuinely having to work harder to get the same message across. But this can also make you tired, the fatigue. It can also give you temple headaches. But also the biggest one of this is hydration. Now, anybody who's watching this, who's in Kate's Club, or who's done any programme with me, Feel Good Fortnight, anything else, you know one of my biggest bugbears is the fact that 80% of you are currently dehydrated. I wasn't going to go there with this, but I feel like I have to, seeing we've delved in a few different areas. Let's talk wee, shall we? Yes. Not for the faint-hearted, but ever so practical. When you're looking, and you should say this to your kids as well. Your kids, if your kids are back at school, when they've been home all day, every day with you for the last 5 months, drinking whenever they want, when they go back to school and they go into that habit of that one drinks bottle all day, I will virtually guarantee your children will be dehydrated, which means they won't be able to concentrate and they will be grumpy when they get home. They'll say that they're not hungry, but in fact, it's just the whole dehydration thing. They'll sort of look tired, fatigued, flushed, and it's because they're going to be dehydrated. Same applies for you. So you need to keep the hydration going. I don't care if it's like this, like at the moment. Do you like my mug, by the way? I don't know if you've seen my Staffy Rogan. And at the moment, this is Revitalised Herbie Tea that I'm on at the moment. Brilliant one for keeping you hydrated. If you don't like water, just go on to those Herbie Teas. There's nighttime tea. I forgot to say about that one. That, I've heard so many ladies have said they love nighttime tea. Again, go up to the Amazon list above and you'll see it in there. Hydration, girls, you've got to do it. You've just got to nail it, whether you like it or not. Otherwise, your body, it's like running your car without oil. It's like expecting your car to get out the drive without any fuel in it. It's not going to happen. And you are going to become a drained, haggard, grumpy person within a very short period of time. Please embrace hydration. Do it. Lemon juice in the morning, warm water in the morning. I'll talk about that another time. So there we go. So on to the last question that I can fit into for tonight, I think, and until I go on to your questions, if you have some. And again, bear with me because I want to share that thing with you at the end. Anxiety is the next one. This is a biggie, girls. This is a biggie. This is between this and the weight gain are the two ones that I hear the most frequently, and it breaks my heart. So this lady says, I'm usually happy, bubbly person, but since lockdown, my periods have stopped and I'm anxious all the time. I'm worrying about the kids, I'm worrying about COVID, I'm worrying about money, even though there is no reason to. It affects my sleep, it affects all my relationships with my children, my partner. I'm dreading going back to work. I don't know who to speak to. Please, can you help? Can you relate to that? Can you relate to any bit of this? I think one thing that menopause steals from ladies is their self-confidence. Your self-confidence gets zapped. Big style. Totally zapped. And so that's normal. And this is why we need to help each other, ladies. You've got to communicate with other people. And you'll find that once you start communicating, other ladies need to talk about it too. They really do. But for some reason, somewhere along the lines, this has become something that shouldn't be talked about and brushed under the carpet, and it's heartbreaking, because anxiety is a natural effect of your estrogen levels dropping, and it is the physiological I think I nailed that one actually, girls. Reason, can't say it again, for this is the fact that it affects your adrenal system. So you might have heard of the fight or flight. So if you think of the adrenaline that you would get if you're walking across a car park late at night, your keys are in the bottom of your black bag, which always seems to have a black inner to it, doesn't it? And you're walking towards your car, you've suddenly thought, how silly, I've parked it in the dark part of the car park, shouldn't have done that. My husband Lee, he's a bodyguard, and so I definitely shouldn't have been doing that. And then you hear footsteps behind you. Your heart races, your temples start to go, you lose your fine motor skills, you go dry mouth, your heart rate goes up, and you get this is so with the effects of adrenaline, your heart rate and everything else is going up. And so what happens is when the estrogen level drops, it brings on that same effect because it's affecting the adrenal gland. And so if you can relate to that, then you might be able to think back to the last time you couldn't understand why you were feeling anxious. Why are you suddenly sat in the car filled with dread at going to see your best friend? And COVID and all that it has brought, and the face mask and the anxiety around that is not helping either. Because we're sweaty already, and now we've got to put a bloody stupid sweaty face mask on. Don't get me wrong, I do it, and I don't, and I totally agree with it. Don't wait at me for that. But yeah, it's gonna take your anxiety up there. And so you need to be aware of this. Do breathing, do meditation. You might go, what? Meditation? Yeah, right. Now, I've never done that in my life. I'm not doing that. Sitting there going, home, that's for whatevers. There's different types of meditation, girls. So I might just share on my page after this. I will if you let me know that you want me to. So if you haven't commented before, comment on this. In my Feel Good Fortnight, what I'm about is about taking ladies who are feeling flat, low, crap, rubbish about themselves, low self-esteem, hate their bodies, possibly hate other people in their household right now, don't like their jobs, they can't see anything to look forward to apart from a glass of wine at the end of the day. And over 2 weeks, I help them transform, change their toolbox of emotions, change their toolbox of ways of exercising. They come into Kate's Club for 2 weeks. I look after and nurture these ladies. I've got 2 coaches in there, a Hello Happiness coach and a transformational life coach. And we put the ladies back together again. So as part of that, I did this 20-minute walking for weight loss. So the ladies put me in their ears. I did it on YouTube. So I'm walking like this. But in fact, you only actually need to put me in your ears. So I could have just put myself in my pocket, but I didn't think about that at the time. It's the first time I'd done it, girls. Let me know. So let me off with that one. But what I did was I gave you mantras as you're walking. Every day and every day, every day in every way, I'm feeling fitter. Every day in every way, I'm feeling calmer. Just to give you a little example of the kind of things we do, I explain to you how to walk so that you burn the most amount of calories. Because if you walk like most ladies do at this stage of the game with low self-esteem, you walk like a duck, flat feet, flat, 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 flat. Your shoulders are down, your head is down, your tummy is out, your boobs are down here somewhere, and you are not feeling good about yourselves. Oh, hey, all the comments have suddenly started. Yay! Hello, girls, you're there. Yes, so The walking meditation, say yes. If you're watching this on catch up, say yes, and I will share it with you. And so I will share it here on my page for you, YouTube video. You stick me in your ears, you take me for 20 minutes, and it will help you look up, feel better, embrace yourself. But you've got to learn to do stuff like that to help with the anxiety. You really have. So let me oh yes, so Donna, yes, she loved the mindful walk. She's been on there and done that with me. Oh wait a minute, I've got to put my glasses on, girls. It's that time of the night. Usually I'm having my sleepy tea and got my slippers on by now. I've got out of the habit of doing lives at this time of night, have you noticed? But I'm getting back in it. Oh, reflexology, that is a brilliant one, Wendy. Reflexology is a really, really good one for all things. The Calm app, Donna, that is a great one too. Definitely. Yeah, share on here, ladies. Anything that you have helped. Eyesight. Karen, yes. Eyesight. Because it affects everything is thinning. That includes your retinal muscles. They are more relaxed than they would have been. Those of you that have been prone to tennis shoulder. No, tennis shoulder? Is that such a thing? Have I just made that up? Is it tennis elbow and something else shoulder? What shoulder would you get? Not quite sure. And so, yes, that's all because the ligaments and the tendons can relax slightly. So if you've had an injury that you've got away with in the past, now you won't get away with it so much. So you need to keep your adrenals down. Bathing in Epsom salts with magnesium works every time. Dry eyes, that's another symptom as well, definitely. Dry eyes are also a big symptom of you would think dehydration. I only ever used to get dry eyes after alcohol, but dry eyes, my friend's an optician, and she told me that dry eyes are because I am dehydrated, and teary eyes because I'm dehydrated, and so my body's having to work harder to keep it to make the tear duct work more. But yes, dry eyes is another one because your tear ducts are being affected by the thinning skin. Are you getting this? Does this make more sense to you? Frozen. Frozen? Frozen. Frozen. Oh, frozen shoulder. Girls, I love it. Thank you. People are speaking to me now. Maybe it's because I went live in my event instead of going live on my page. Your eyes have just been deteriorated in 2 years. That now I hope this explains it a bit for you, Nadine, as to why that is happening. And it's you have a crazy 13-year-old to keep you on the go. Yeah, Helen, teenagers definitely do that for you. But also, I think we owe it to teenage girls. I only have boys, so I don't know this for sure. But my stepdaughters, I wasn't going through this. I didn't know this much when they were living with me. But I think we owe it to our daughters to speak to them about it. I'm sorry, Mummy's having a bad day. I'm struggling today. But I'm really trying, and I'm sorry if I was grumpy with you. I do say that to my boys if I've been a gnarly moo, which I try to count to 10 and walk out of the room first. or try to breathe before I react like they did tonight. Tonight I didn't have much time to prepare to do them. I did them the fish they always have, with peas and sweet corn, and 2 out of the 3 of them decided it didn't taste right, so they weren't eating it. So did I bite their face off like I wanted to internally due to the menopause and my adrenal glands? No, I didn't. I breathed in the freezer actually. I stuck my head in the freezer. I breathed in, breathed out, thought, don't react. It's just the hormones. They're kids. Get on with it. And got my sense of humour back. Started tablets with magnesium, vitamin D and calcium. Yes, Helen. Those will help with osteoporosis for sure. Magnesium tablets, they are good. They help for sleep. Brilliant, Tracy. Keep sharing these things, girls. If you're watching this on catch up, share whatever you can. Right. Oh, sorry. I nearly forgot. There's me nipping on about that. Right. I just get involved. I just want to help you girls. So like I'll explain briefly about the Feel Good Fortnight is coming up. The next one's coming up. I know a load of you missed the last one, which started on the 1st of July for the 2 weeks there. But the next one is 1st of September. This can tie in because you might be going back to work, the kids are going back to school, it's big changes, we're trying to get back after COVID. There's a lot being thrown at us right now. And if you've never embarked on a program like this, it all happens in a closed Facebook group. What goes on in the group stays in the group. And then I archive that group, and the only people who get access to it are the ones who you've shared your stories with. If you've wanted to share, you might just take and you might just digest and move on. But that's in essence where the group happens for the Feel Good Fortnight. So I know there's so many of you out there that would benefit from this. And you also get to bring a friend for free, because buddying up, if you can have a buddy, just like when you start a new exercise class or start anything new, if you've got a buddy going with you, you help each other through it. It's an accountability buddy, and that is what you need. And so having said that, for you ladies who are watching this or have watched this within the next 24 hours, if you want to chat, if you are having a horrible time at this and you just need some advice and you just need to speak to somebody. I've never ever done this before, but so many ladies have reached out to me recently, since they've been going back to work, in particular, since their kids have gone back to school, and the feeling of worthiness, the self-worth, self-confidence, all of that has gone down the plug hole, and they are feeling rubbish. I know I can help in a one-to-one 30-minute chat with me is what you will get if you enroll onto the Feel Good Fortnight, because then I know I can, it's only because I know then I can carry on with you. I can make sure that by the middle of September, and it ends on my birthday, and that is no coincidence, by the time I am 52, girls, I know that I will help you and your friend or your mum or your sister or whoever else you would like to bring, because they come for free on the course. Give it them as a present, an early Christmas present or something, or halve it or whatever. It's only £47, but halve it, whatever you need to do. But I will give you who is listening to this, a one-to-one session, either on the phone or on Zoom, as we're all used to doing that now. And I can help you in a personal way with whether it's the eating, whether it's the whatever it is that you need to speak about, girls, from a nothing but a place of love and confidentiality. And like I say, no judgment. Whatever you want to speak to me about, you can speak about. And I have never done this before. So that's why I know I can only offer this for 24 hours. And so what is the time now? So if you join the Feel Good Fortnight by 10 to 9 tomorrow night, I will contact you, or Leslie Ann will contact you to get your telephone number, and we will liaise how you would like to chat with me. So, right, good question. Somebody's just said good question. Right. So that's, right, let's have a look. Kate, this has been so helpful. Oh, good, I'm on the verge of tears. Oh, Shella. Oh, you are not alone, honey. You are not alone. There are so many ladies here who are feeling the same way. I hope sharing and caring just helps with you. What helps with the hot flushes? Very similar to the night sweats. I know they're two different things, but general things like, I know it sounds ridiculous, but keeping away from the heat-inducing spices. And I mean, right down to your pepper. If you have used to having salt and pepper, don't have the pepper, don't have the curry, don't have those. Hydration, massive. Eating little and often, so you don't overload your digestive system, which then overloads your system, which then makes you feel hot. So that's a biggie as well. And right, somebody else said irregular beats. Yes. Irregular heartbeat, that is a biggie, definitely. And that's linked with the adrenals. So yes, let me answer that one. So a racing heart is definitely one. Hi, Jackie from Belfast. Long episodes of them, and irregular beats. Yes, that is a biggie. That is a big one. And I have heard that the magnesium helps with that. Painful joints. Painful joints is the inflammation caused in your joints because of the hormonal imbalance. And don't let it be, please, girls, go to the list above. fill in the list over a 4-week period, and make sure you are not misdiagnosed for depression, because when you go to the doctors, these symptoms can look so similar. Anxiety, depression, you do not need downers right now. They will not get rid of the symptoms. They will not. And those of you that are on them and you've been told that that's what the right thing for you, you know your body, ladies. You know your bodies. It's time to take control. Same way as you did when you were pregnant. This is your future. You hold, it's your right to look after yourself right now. The rest of your family need you. The people who you love need you to be looking after you right now. Please, please do it. So numbness, tingling, yes. That is a big one. Again, because your the estrogen levels is messing with your fingertips, it's messing with your nervous system. And so tingles, that is a big one. Total. And the good news is it generally doesn't happen too long. That's one that comes and goes. Just like the inner ear problem is one that comes and goes. The inflammation in the joints is one that comes and goes, provided you're getting that balance of diet right, the proteins, fats and carbohydrates in the right measure. Libido, I've not covered that one. Yep. Loss of libido, yes. Of course the libido is going to disappear for a little while because we're feeling anxious, we're feeling hot, we're feeling sweaty. Our partners, they love us. They cannot begin to imagine what is going through your mind right now. And they have no term of reference. You're only just getting to grips with it. So they're a man. They've got no chance whatsoever. So this is why it is important for you to look after you. You get you more mellow. You get you taking more time. Everything is going to take more time. And if you're in an anxious state, everything, including the thought process of that down there, ever firing again, it can fire again, it will fire again, but you've got to be nice to you, and you've got to be nice to your partner, and you've got to explain it a bit more. And now is not the time to stick a happy sticker on it and get on with it, girls, because you will self-destruct. So many women are going to self-destruct between now and Christmas, and I just want to help as many of you as I possibly can. Oh, Shella, is it Sheila or Shella? Am I saying that right? Oh, I'm so glad that this has helped you. Chest pains for a long time, diagnosed with Costo is linked with Diane. I do not want to skip through that. Diane Evans, I don't want to skip through that one. I'm going to do some research and I'll reply to you tomorrow. So I never give information unless I know what is coming out of my mouth is to the best of my knowledge. I'm not familiar with that, but I will get back to you. I know chest pains is one, definitely. And so, yeah. Gluten intolerant and have lots of intolerances to food too. Can be intolerances. Intolerances, yes, because your mouth, your gut, your digestive system, IBS. IBS. Now, and the digestive tract, you're going to become less tolerant to things because your digestive tract is your internal skin. It's thinning. It's going to, you've probably had a mild intolerance to these things for your whole life. But now, like I've said before, your body can't cope anymore. So you've got to take action. You've got to look after yourself. And so that's the reason. And the IBS, again, I'm sorry, girls, to give you the news on this, but the alcohol, menopause, IBS, all really linked. Just try it for a week. But I'm going to bring you some more information about that. So continue with your glass of wine if you've got one in your hand right now. And but I've got something coming for you on the 1st of September, which might help. And Elaine, oh, I'm so glad that has helped. Loads of things. It's a nightmare. Oh, yeah, it is. It can be. It can be a nightmare, girls, but I'm not here to be the bearer of bad news. I want you to know that you can take control of it. You really, really can. So all of the links are above. I've taken up a lot of your time tonight. I'm here 20 minutes longer than I intended. I do apologise, but I hope it has been worthwhile. Thank you, lovely ladies, for your presence on my live. As always, thank you for watching to the end. Please share this. Share this on your page so that I can help people talk about it. Even if it's just because if you share the event, then it just comes up as the main bit of it, I think. And if you just put above there, ladies, here's something you need to know about. You don't need to share you personally. Hey, girls, I'm right in the thick of it. How about you? But this information needs to go out there. So please help me. Please help me in an ambassador for this and helping you lovely ladies. And, oh, great. I'm so glad it's been helpful. Sarah, wonderful. Sarah, I recognise your name. I recognise your name. I think you've just recently started following me, and I'm sure I saw your name as recently having done one of my 7-day challenges. So good luck on that. That will help you. Those of you that haven't been onto my website yet and downloaded the 3-day meal plan, that will really help you in what I'm talking about the balancing the blood sugar levels. I forgot about that. Go to my website, katesansum.com. It's a freebie. Just go put your name and email on there and it pings, usually pings straight back to you this PDF that you can put on your phone, take it as the shopping list and a what you can eat for 3 days. So please go and get that if you've got no idea what I'm talking about balancing your blood sugar levels. And oh, good. I'm so glad that you have found that helpful. Ladies, I love you. Thora, wonderful. Oh, Julie, lovely to see you. Alison, pleasure. Fiona, lovely to see you. I hope you've had a good day. And Helen, right. Good night, ladies. God bless, and I will see you all very soon. So, need to lower my cholesterol. Jane, if you haven't already, get that 3-day meal plan. If you can, come on the Feel Good Fortnight, because there I'm going to be doing a 2-week version of it, which I've never done before. I might do it as a product to give out to you ladies, because I know so many of you ask me for meal plans and then with a list, and then I can make it personal for you. I hate to give you away something that isn't going to be utilised on a daily basis, because right now you need something that you need to change your habits for good and stick with them. So, good night.